What is going on, everybody? Taylor here, and today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts and feelings relating to the movie In the Heights. Finally got to go out to a theater and see it last night, and I was definitely right about one thing. I needed to bring dozens of tissue boxes, essentially, going to see this movie because it was an emotional time. Now, before I jump into any of my thoughts, I would like to say that, one, I have not seen the stage show. I was not familiar with the music or with any of the characters or anything like that going into this. I'm definitely going to want to familiarize myself with it now, but I just hadn't had the chance to go see it at any point, so there's that perspective that I have coming into this, that it was a completely new property to me. And also, I'm just gonna, clearly I'm very white. Clearly I am a white person, and this movie was not made to be a representation of me or my story or anything of that nature. So when it comes to the intricacies of if the culture was represented correctly, if the casting was done correctly, the colorism issues that I've been seeing spoken about, I don't have any sort of, I'm not the right person to talk about those things. I've been reading reviews and articles and everything about those topics as people have written their reviews and put out their thoughts about the casting and the community or communities that were represented and those that weren't. So that's not going to be a part of my review, but if you guys want to talk about that in the comments, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts. I would love to be further educated on what you guys thought of those choices. But for me, I loved this movie. I was a weeping mess by the end of it. There was just a waterfall happening on my face. So I'm a big music person just in general. I love movies, but I didn't really get into being super into movies until a bit later in life. I know I'm still young, but the majority of my youth was just, my soul was connected to music. I was listening to bands and going to concerts, and that was the majority of what my time was. So musicals mean a lot to me, especially if they hit me. They hit me really hard. And this one, the music was incredible, and I'm really excited to check out the songs that unfortunately had to be cut that are in the stage version of it, because I'm sure they're just as incredible. The thing I think that connected me the most to this movie was the story of being responsible for representing your family, for being someone that feels like if they don't go out and accomplish the things that their family expects of them, that you're kind of a failure and you don't really have any other options. Those are the things that are expected of you. Those are the things that your parents or your family have made sacrifices for so that you could go out and achieve those things that maybe they couldn't or didn't have the opportunity to. And from a perspective where I am privileged when it comes to the fact that I am white, that is just a thing, and there are naturally going to be more opportunities for me. But I don't come from money. I don't have a family that's had a lot of money. We've never been wealthy. And that presents its own problems no matter who you are. That's a part of your lifestyle, and that, it is what it is. And I think Nina's character, where she's the one that's expected to go off to college and do great things because she's always been the smart one. She's always been the one that's enjoyed school and learning. That is something that I related to on a very personal level. Growing up, I loved going to school. I hated missing days of school. I loved learning. I was always so curious and wanting to achieve great things. And I did go to a semester of college, and then I dropped out. And now in Nina's story, she does go back to school, in the film version at least. I'm not sure if that happens in the stage version, but she does go back to school because she finds something that she feels is a purpose. And that's the part that I'm still working on. But I was really it was really kind of an emotional thing to watch, just to have her feel like she has come home a failure because she doesn't feel like she fits in school. Her plan is to drop out. She doesn't have any plans to go back, and she feels like the whole community, the whole neighborhood is counting on her to put her name out there and do great things and to represent everyone. And that's, I feel like, a story that a lot of people can relate to, which is, yeah, that really made me emotional. And I think the other thing that really got to me just in particular was, and again, I'm not sure if this was changed from the source material, but the fact that at the end of the story, you've got Usnavi telling the end of his story, and he realizes that this proverbial and physical, in this sense, island that he's trying to get back to, that's his dream. That's what he wants and what he's working so hard to get back to and has spent so much of his life focused on and putting his energy into. And he's right on the precipice of it. He's there. He's about to achieve this thing that he thought was his dream. And then he's presented with the fact that the things that he wants, the things that are really what his dream is, have been there around him. He has what he needs to build his dream where he already is and not have to leave this family and this community that he's built around him and still be able to achieve essentially what it is that he's setting out to do. And that definitely destroyed me. The ending of this movie, like, I stood no chance. The tears factory was just fully operational at that point, and there was absolutely nothing that I could do. I guess the other thing that really got me excited about this movie, and again, there's only so much that I can touch on with this because I know that there are issues that people have with the casting in this movie, and I can completely understand where people are coming from. For me, I'm just going to talk about what it is that we did get, and to me, we got extremely talented individuals throughout this entire movie. Anthony Ramos is a superstar, and I'm so excited. I hope he just keeps getting to do things. Melissa Barrera absolutely smashed it out of the park as Vanessa. Leslie Grace as Nina. Incredible stuff. One of the big scene stealers for me was Corey Hawkins. He was sensational as Benny, and I think he's sensational in the roles that he's given, and he's just not given enough. I'm so excited to see, hopefully, his career take off in the way that it should, because he is just outstanding. He's so outstanding. Jimmy Smits is always a joy to see in anything. Daphne Rubin-Vega hit it out of the park. Stephanie Beatrice was hilarious, as always, and is just fantastic. Seeing Lin-Manuel Miranda pop up is always a joy. Mark Anthony, I mean, the cast was just so good. It was just so good, and like I said, I know that there are colorism issues that people want to address with the casting, and I can completely appreciate and understand that, and I don't think that I'm in the place to lead that conversation. I think I need to sit back and do the research and listen to what other people are saying when it comes to that. But based on what we got, I do think that we got an extremely talented cast who were so great in the movie, and I'm so glad that we got it. I've been in this movie ever since it was announced they were doing an adaptation to the screen. I've been so excited for it. It's been one of my most anticipated, and as soon as we got back from the theater, I flipped on HBO Max and put it on again because I wanted to watch it again immediately and experience the music and the choreography and the cinematography and just all the talent involved in this film. I saw a tweet actually when I was looking at other people's reviews and what their thoughts were on the movie, and someone said, In the Heights is just another example of why the Academy Awards should have a stunt and choreography award. And I completely agree. There's so many of us that highlight this every single year when there are films that come out that just have stunning stunts and choreography, and there's not a category that appreciates all of the work that they put into creating incredible moments like the ones that we got in the Heights. But I probably honestly will put on HBO Max and watch it again at some point this week, because it just struck a chord with me. The characters, I know that there was a lot of stories cut out and kind of rewritten. Not 100% familiar with the specifics. I know that Nina and Benny, there were some differences there that people are unhappy about, with which I can appreciate based on the little I've seen of what was cut and what was changed. But just judging on the movie itself, on what we got, on the fact that I, going into it, didn't know what was missing, what was cut. I was solely judging it based on what was presented to me. I had such a great time with it. It was joyful, and it was devastating, and it was emotional in the best and worst ways. And it really just felt like a breath of fresh air. It felt like the movie that I needed and I wanted so badly, in terms of just musicals always just get to me. And when it's a good musical with talent involved, like real, and I'm not saying that there are some musicals that prefer to use Hollywood actors, which I don't personally find a problem with. I am someone who loves and will defend La La Land to the death in a duel if I have to. But In the Heights shows us what you get when you put Broadway caliber performers into a movie, when you put people who live and breathe this stuff into a movie. And this is what you get, and it's just stunning in basically every possible way. It put the biggest smile on my face as I was also sobbing. But what did you guys think of this movie? Have you seen it? If you did you go to a theater? Did you watch it on HBO Max? Are you planning on seeing it? If you haven't seen it already, please share those thoughts with me. I would really, really love to talk to you guys about it, because there are so many different opinions based on the movie, based on the adaptation from stage to screen, based on the casting choices. I would love to start that discussion with you all. As always, all my links are down in the description if you want to find me on social media. My Patreon is also linked down there if you'd like to check that out. Thank you guys so much for all of your continued support, and I will see you next time.